here each and every day at 8 a.m. as we explore life. We find ways of looking at life differently by asking good questions. And one of the things that I know is that the questions I ask sometimes keep me awake at night. And the thing that I talked about today is that no matter what we do, we think we're fooling life. We can't fool life. Life will always reflect back to us who we are. It may take some time, but it's always reflecting back to us. So a lot of times we think in our minds, well, no one knows I'm doing this, but I'm thinking this. Well, those thoughts come back to us. I don't know how they come back, but they do, because there's a law, and that law is always responding to the nature of our thoughts. So the question, our work is to know who we want to be, how we want to be in the world, and then to adjust ourselves based on that. Because if we do that, then we know that that's going to be reflected back to us. So if you've got questions or you've got comments as I'm talking, please share them, because I love to have your feedback. It gives me more to talk about when I'm interacting with you, because I love to have this be a more interactive than me just talking. I love questions. There's nothing I'm afraid of, because guess what? I don't take anything personally. You can give me any question you want. That's your business to give questions. I don't have your answers. You do. You don't have my answers. I do. That's great when we do that, because guess what? We're giving each other freedom to be our unique and authentic selves. So I love that. Today is what? Hump day. What are you getting over today? What hump are you trying to get over in your day? What mental atmosphere do you have going on right now that's demonstrating life experience that you want to see differently? That's a good question. So what in your life is not moving the way you want? When you ask that question, then you can go, okay, well, wait a second. Let's go back to source. What's source? What am I thinking? What's my mental atmosphere? Because life reflects back to us who we are. And when we get that, then we can start shifting who we're being in the world. And let me just say this, sometimes it's not fun having life reflect back to us, because we think we're different than what we are. Do you get that? We create an illusion of who we are. Now, life reflects back to us the actual who we are, so we can adjust the illusion, so that we can become the person who would be demonstrating a life that is, let's say, living in compassion, a life that is living in a sense of love, where we accept ourselves and we accept others as they are. But if we're there and we're constantly judging people, and we find that people are judging us, then we've got to look back at ourselves. Because here's the thing, you may not like what someone says to you, you may not like what they do, you may not like anything about what they're saying. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't like it and it bothers you, I ask the question, why are you giving them power? And you look at me, well, what do you mean power? Well, you're upset with them. Why? Well, they did this. Well, guess what? The only person that can control your reaction to anyone is you. No one else controls your reaction. No matter what they do, you are in charge of your reaction. Well, Steve, thank you for your nice compliment. I'm glad you're out there. No, man, know that not only do you get these videos, these daily videos, but there's like 530 videos on my YouTube channel, Lee Wallach. And we cover just about every topic you can imagine. Because here's what I understand. There's always more topics. People ask me, says, how much time does it take for you to plan what you're going to do in a day? I said, it doesn't take any time at all. I come up with a thought that just pops into my mind, and then we start discussing it. That's how life works. Life is not about planning everything. Life is about being present and living it. Could you make your life longer Is that what you mean, Linda? Go back to your spelling. Is it live? Can you make yourself live longer? Oh, I think that's possible if that's your question. I think what you expect out of life, you get back. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I've got an intention to live at least 124 plus years in a healthy body and a healthy mind where I can be of service and experience fully in life. No live your videos. I still don't get you. My mind is not processing the same way you process, Linda. And that's okay. I'm cool with that. And so what I do is I let my heart speak. And when I talk about the heart speaking, what I'm talking about is what is in you that is not rational, logical, but knows you, that wants to be heard, that wants to speak, that you believe is the truth of who you are. That's the thing that I like to try to show out. And guess what? You know when it's not your heart center, because when it's not your heart center, you're trying to prove yourself right. You're trying to make someone else wrong. And what is that doing? You're feeding the ego. And that's the battle that we've got, that we're constantly doing with each other is, are we feeding the ego or are we speaking from the heart? Is love or ego in control? Is it love or fear? Because isn't the ego all about fear? Yes, it is. So if you're having fearful thoughts, no, that's the ego. If you're having loving and accepting thoughts, that's the heart. That's the difference between the two. The heart doesn't need to be fed because it feeds itself. Oh, she wants me to make my daily thoughts longer. Well, listen, let me just say this about that, Tanisha and Linda. I want to keep you wanting more. I want to tease you a little bit. That's what keeps you coming back. I was doing these 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day. And then what I found was that most people don't have the time for 30 minutes. So I give you 5 to 10 now. But I give it to you 7 days instead of 5 days. And you know what? We're building, look at it this way. We are building a relationship here with social media. A relationship where we can come together, we can explore, we can expand, we can question, we can ask, we can understand, we can do all of that. That's what we're doing here. We're building a relationship. We're building conversation with each other. That's why I love when you respond in the comment section. You know who else loves it? Facebook and YouTube. When you respond, then this message goes out to more and more and more and more and more people. Yeah, Linda, I know. Isn't that a great thought? That the heart doesn't need to be fed because it feeds itself? The question is your heart open to feed? Ooh. If you don't feel being fed, have you closed your heart because you're afraid of being hurt? And then if you're afraid of being hurt, you got to ask the question, why am I letting anyone have that power over me? Because the key is you are the one who controls what you feel and how you respond. So remember this today, gang. As you go forward, know that you can't fool life. Life gives us who we are. And when we get that reflection, it's just a sign that we can change. It doesn't have to be forever. We can change. Oh my God, here's Mandy. I've not heard from Mandy. Mandy says, oh my God, Reverend Lee, hello. Love your videos. They helped me immensely during my spiritual awakening a couple years ago. Thanks so much. Much love. Well, Mandy, I didn't even know you existed until just now, and I'm so grateful that you checked in. Oh, God. Love that. And Linda goes, what happens when we die? You know what, Linda? I don't know. I'll tell you what I think. I think we all have a soul. I think that soul is the part of us that is pure consciousness, that's part of the infinite consciousness. I think that consciousness that we are, that individualization of consciousness that we are, goes on for eternity. I think that our purpose is to constantly become more aware of our infinite nature. And to become more aware of that infinite nature will take an infinite amount of time. I think Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind, he said this: I believe in the immortality, the continuity, and the individuality of the soul forever and ever expanding. I sort of like that. I believe in the continuity, the eternality, and the immortality of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. That resonated with me. So what's it going to be like when I leave this body? I don't have a clue. Why worry about that? I don't have any control over it. Here's what I do know. There's no hell. I'll say that right as candidly and honestly as I can. Hell is a state of mind. Heaven is a state of mind. Are you aligned in oneness, or are you aligned out of oneness? That will determine the state of mind that you have. That's what I believe about that. You've got to develop your own belief. People ask me, do you believe in reincarnation? Don't know. Have I done past life regressions where my subconscious mind says, hey, you've had all these other lives? Yeah, I've done those. Do I believe them? Don't know. I'm just telling you, you don't know what the mind is doing. You don't know what the subconscious mind is doing. And here's an even better question. Does it even matter? Because the only thing that matters is how we're living in this now. And how we're living in the now is life always reflects back to us so that we can adjust, so that we can live in love. What a great message that is. And I'm so grateful that you joined me today. If you love this, share it. If you love this, tune in tomorrow. Tune in the next day. Don't tune in. No matter what. If anyone doesn't tell you this today, I accept you like you are, which means I'm telling you I love you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.